Hey, this is Lex, and welcome to Lipstick and Liberation, a podcast where I talk about social issues, art, the world, and current events from the perspective of a 40-year-old divorcee, feminist, a black one at that, and I'm trying to just find a way to navigate this world in a way to be free and safe for everyone. It's not getting any easier as the days go by, I have to say. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, for listening to me, for magnifying my voice. If you go to my Facebook page and you share my post, thank you so much. If you are a subscriber for less than $3 a month, for at least $3 a month, you can help me store this podcast and keep it going. I really appreciate anybody who's willing to dedicate that a little bit of money and time to help me keep my vision alive. But if all you have to give is your ears and a download, I totally appreciate that too. Just thank you for listening to me. This podcast has become so therapeutic for me, and I'm just so grateful to have people listening to my ideas, and hopefully I'm changing some lives out here. So thank you so much. I'm going to jump right in today. I've talked about this before. I'm going back to it. Ladies, if you are not married yet, if you're about to get married, please do not change your legal name. The government is continuing to throw up small things to try to disenfranchise women. I've seen reports of women saying that they couldn't get their real ID this week. Even with their divorce decree, if you don't have your marriage certificate, they are not honoring you and giving you a real ID. This is important. This is something that can prevent women from being able to travel. This requirement for extra documentation is an infringement on our rights. It absolutely is. And there's no real reason to change your name. I've said this before. If you want to do it socially, change it on Facebook, whatever, have people call you that, that's fine. Do not tamper with your legal name. There's no upside to it. You're just creating more work for yourself, more paperwork you have to keep track of. If there's a fire or a flood, or you lose everything, or you're something stolen. Now, all of a sudden, your birth certificate is not enough to prove who you are. You have to have that piece of paper because you married a man and changed your name to his. And they know who this is disenfranchising. They know this is mostly women doing this. It's intentional. So we have to be strategic about our choices. I know we want to do what we've been raised to think is the right thing to do. I know some of us have had our hearts set on getting new last names, but the times are changing, especially with this Trump re-election. You have to be ready to make changes too. We have to be ready to think about surviving more than keeping tradition alive. So if you have not done this, if you have not put yourself in this situation, do not do it. There is no upside for you to do it. And any man who doesn't understand why you wouldn't do it in this current climate is probably not a man safe enough to be married to anyway. So please, we have to start putting ourselves first. We have put ourselves second to tradition, to expectations, to what men want for a long, long time. And that programming has harmed us. And we have to start putting ourselves first here because nobody is standing up for us. Nobody's out there fighting for our rights, least of all men. That's the most people who voted for Donald Trump was men in general. So you're basically trying to do what you think men want, and they're not even out here voting against the person who's trying to take away your rights. Let's be smart. Let's be strategic. And since we're on the topic of men in politics, I want to talk about David Hogg and just white men on the left in general, or supposedly on the left, because I don't think David Hogg is actually a Republican. I think you take the Second Amendment issue away and we lose David Hogg altogether. They are all talking about this male loneliness epidemic, and politicians need to do something to make men feel like it's cool to get laid. Who's stopping men from getting? Nobody is stopping men from getting laid. Except men, except women having the right to say no. So we have all these men talking about the male loneliness epidemic and somebody needs to do something about men being able to get laid. What are they asking politicians about that for? Why is a politician in that conversation? Because women have told you what we want in order to continue to have romantic relationships with you. We want you to take responsibility. We want you to go to therapy. We want you to stop being raging misogynists. These aren't even really hard things. That's the thing that's so interesting, even about David Hogg and the liberal left when it comes to men, because they're not too far off from the Republican right. Men have been entitled to women's bodies and romantic relationships with women for so long that men on both sides of the aisle are not handling this very well. And this is why I wish the Democratic Party would honestly run away from having white men as representatives. They don't represent the base of this party anymore. The base of the Democrat Party is black women. And while I get that, white men make up a lot of the voting bloc, and if we lose them, we're going to lose more elections, We can't rely on trying to appeal to their racism and their sexism in order to move things forward. Because the base of our party, the people who show up for us no matter what, are the people that are oppressed and disenfranchised. So if we're going to negate how they feel and ignore what they want to try to court these people who are constantly out there chasing after things that will continue to oppress the people who are our base, we are not going to get anywhere. That's the thing with the Republican Party, is that they are constantly catering to their base. The reason we lose people to the Republican Party is because white men, they want to oppress, and they find a way to oppress in that party. And we're trying to find ways to stop them from oppressing on this side. And what these people, David Hogg, are telling us is that we need to loosen up and let them do that over here. That's not an option. We're not going for it. Just like women aren't going for you not taking care of your mental health, not washing up, not grooming, not paying bills. We're not going for it. So you either fall in line and start doing better, or you're going to keep doing what you're doing, which is looking to the government to oppress people to get them to do what you want. Like, how pathetic are you? How pathetic as a human being are you that you can't just be better? You can't just meet people where they're at. Instead, you're going to the government and asking them to take away the rights of women so you can get a date. It's not like women are even asking you to do something so hard. Literally, be nice to us. Live up to what you said you were. Help us get paid maternity leave. Help us get our rights back. Help us get, access to abortion back. We're not asking for a lot, but asking for anything as a woman. This is why I said at the beginning of the segment, ladies, about the last name, put yourself first. Asking for anything is too much because they're entitled to us. They're supposed to be able to get us. So this is where we are. This is where we are as a gender in this society. People are talking to politicians about having access to us as dating material. I mean, why won't men just have sex with each other if it's that serious? But women, just be on your guard. This is our new reality. It's not going to get better. I told you guys, I don't think we're having another election. We will have to start moving differently. We will have to start making decisions differently. We're going to have to start taking care of each other. You're going to have to stop putting your husband first, your dating life first, your boyfriend first. You're going to have to start putting your girlfriends first. We're going to have to take care of each other. If not, we are going to end up, and I'm pivoting right into The Handmaid's Tale because I want to talk about something with that, but we're going to end up like that. That's not too far from a reality. We already got women who can't travel with out their current ID because they can't get a real ID because they don't know where their marriage certificate is. So don't laugh. Don't act like it's not, they don't just have to flip a switch to turn off our bank accounts and put us where the women in Gilead were. That's a real reality. That's a real possibility. These men keep whining about not being able to get laid and the birth rate decreasing. But yes, Handmaid's Tale. This week, I had to get on the girlies on Twitter. Why are you guys so obsessed with Nick? He's a Nazi. This is a show about the oppression of women, and I weep for women. I weep for the resistance that I'm seeing women so caught up in the relationship between Nick and June. They care more about that than the women that are still being subjugated in Gilead. Like, this is a fictional show. If you can't get it right for this fictional show, I'm kind of scared about if you'd be able to get it right if we had a reality like this. Because who cares who June ends up with? I absolutely do not care who June's romantic partner is at the end of the show. I just want Gilead toppled. And people are like, oh, they ruined Nick. They ruined Nick. The same Nick that has been working for Gilead since day one. The same Nick that was a loser in the before, who wouldn't even listen to his mom and go to college. Who the only reason he has June is because Serena put him up to that so that she could get a baby. Like, not even of his own hard work or courting did he even get her. That Nick is being ruined. I don't care about a man being ruined in this show. I weep for you. I'm concerned about you as a woman if you care about the character of Nick more than you care about Hannah, who is June's daughter and still trapped. More than you care about those girls at Jezebel's who got killed because of what Nick did. I'm concerned. Because at no time, I was actually shocked when I was reading that stuff. At no time did I ever consider, like, oh no, Nick looks bad. Because to me, Nick was always bad. I don't trust any of the men. Any of the men on The Handmaid's Tale. I mean, Serena Joy, I don't even trust her. Obviously, she's a woman. But I am blown away that you guys are so caught up in this romantic love is such a trap for women. It's such a perfect trap. It's because it's illogical. It doesn't make sense. We just feel things. We look at somebody and we start feeling these feelings for them and want to do stuff for them. It's not logical. And it makes you do things that is not in your best interest. So it's the perfect trap for women. And it's so frustrating watching women watch this show about other women being oppressed and they're focused in on the romantic relationship between Nick and June. Like, if that's why you're watching Handmaid's Tale, cancel your Hulu subscription, please. We can't save you. That's the sad part, I think, about being a woman and being in the feminist space, which is why my voice is here, is that there are some women we're not going to be able to save because they're so obsessed with the idea of being with a man. That's primary to everything. And you're seeing that in somebody on Twitter called them of Nicks, and I totally agree. You're seeing that in the of Nicks on Twitter. They care more about who June's going to end up with at the end of the show than if June is actually going to end up free and have her daughter back. Priorities, ladies. Priorities. When your survival as a woman depended on pairing up with a man, that might have been an acceptable mindset. You can get a job now. You can get a bank account now. You can get a credit card. Priorities. Next thing I want to talk about is Miss Pamela Anderson living her best life, not wearing makeup. And surprise, surprise, that's not good enough for the men either. Not the men who said, no filters, no lashes. I hate fake stuff. I hate when women put on fake things, put on wigs and makeup. Then you get a woman who doesn't do it. Pamela Anderson says, you know what? I'm tired. I'm older. I don't have to put on all that glam. I just want to be me. And what do the men do? Drag her up and down the street for not being as hot as she was before. Because you cannot win. When it comes to men's opinion, ladies, you cannot win. Do what you want to do. Stop listening to them. They don't even like themselves. They don't even try to look good 9 times out of 10 for themselves. You have a few, but most of them, they want you to love their dad bod. They want you to love their minimum low effort experience with working out. They don't want to get haircut. They won't wash between their behind cheeks because they think it makes them homosexual, which being gay to them is worse than being disgusting. But these are the people you're listening to when they tell you that they don't want you to wear certain things, and this is how you should dress, and this is how you should be. And then when you actually do it, you're still wrong because that's not really what they want. And I love that Pamela Anderson she's just being herself. She's not out here to impress anybody. She looks great. I mean, we're talking about a white woman that's approaching 60. She looks pretty darn good as far as how her skin looks, like held up, not, the integrity of it. She looks good. But the idea that she was once a sex symbol and now she's not performing to try to entice men to be attracted to her. That is so offensive to so many men, so many of the incels on Twitter. They're losing their mind. And I love when she shows up. I love it because it gives women the permission to be those things. We don't have to perform. We don't have to be attractive for you. When I dress up and I put on my wigs and my makeup and stuff, I'm really not even trying to attract men. I've noticed these days that most men won't even approach you really. They'll send you a message or DM you after they see you out, but they're so scared of being rejected nowadays that they won't even approach you. So there's no point in even really dressing up for them. What are you going to get out of it? Unless you're attracting one that has a lot of money and is generous, probably a lot of trauma and games and some lackluster sex at best. So there's no reason to dress up for men anyway. And I don't. But I love that she's just like, this is what I want to look like. This is how I am going to present myself to the world. And if that's low effort for her, she just gets up, puts on some moisturizer and washes her face, etc. Good for you, girl. Because this is our life. This is our existence. We don't have to be what other people say we should be. If you are not hurting anybody, then go ahead and live your life. Do what you want. Wear that makeup. Don't wear that makeup. But the last thing I want to hear you tell me is what a man thought about what you had on. I don't care. Stop caring. They don't care about themselves. They're going to tell you one day to do one thing and the next day to do the next. We don't care. Divorce yourself from men's opinion. So shout out to her. Shout out to Pamela Anderson. Shout out to women getting older. Shout out to us surviving everything that life puts us through and still showing up and being beautiful and authentic, however that looks to us. I want that for you. I want that for all of you. As Mother's Day approaches, I hope that you guys get time to yourself to be what you want to be outside of being a mom, outside of being a wife, whatever you are. I hope you get a chance to be you that day. And I want us to start carving out time every day to be ourselves. It's hard. I know. I'm a single mom. It is not easy juggling all this stuff, having to work all the time, having to keep up with the housework, thinking about our children all the time. But the thing I do for myself is every night I do my skincare. That is my 30 minutes where I get to think about me. I get to think about what I care about, what I want. And I'm in school now. Y'all pray for me. I'm trying to finish up this last 2 weeks strong. But those are the two things that are really just about me. When I go to the gym, when I do my skincare and school. And I want us all to find that. I know it's so hard, but that's the thought I want to leave you guys with this week. Because there's so much out there right now. There's so many things in the works trying to oppress us. Like I said, with the Real ID, men wanting politicians to do something about us not wanting to sleep with them, the constant policing of how we live and how we exist. I want you guys to find something that is for yourself, some joy, because things are not going to get easier for us. And we're going to have to cultivate joy wherever we can. So find it, figure something out. Don't put this off. Pick something that you can do for yourself. It's getting on your treadmill for 15 minutes a day. I want you to do it. And you can write into me. There are links on the podcast where you can reach out and by fan mail. If you want to tell me about what you're doing, I could talk about it the next time I'm on here. That would be super awesome. But I want you women, especially the mothers, happy early Mother's Day. Like I said, find something, find yourself, because we're going to need our strength moving forward. Please do that for me. And thank you so much again for listening. I will talk to you guys next week.